Hello matey, welcome back to the channel. It's Coventry versus West Bromwich Albion. Can Coventry, going into this game, pick up where they left off with a victory in the league? We'll find out in this sort of preview. This marks the 15th game in the Championship this season. At home at the CBS, we're back at our fortress. This match is so important because we know we haven't played well after the international breaks so far, so we need to get off to a winning start. So if you're going to enjoy this preview, a like would be appreciated. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's jump straight into the preview. So starting off, we're going to look at the last 5 games from Coventry and West Brom. Starting off with Cov, we've won 3, we've drawn 0, and we lost 1, of course, against Wrexham 3-2. And I'd say the performances haven't actually been that great. They've been very steady, we've been getting the job done, and those have been awarding us the 3 points, especially against Stoke City. It was one of our toughest games that we had all season long. We didn't necessarily play poorly, but we didn't play to the heights that we did previously in the season, probably because Stoke City are the 2nd or 3rd best team in the league so far. But that's what's impressive about this season, is we've been playing steady for the past 5, 6, 7 games ever since we came back from the international break, the one prior to this one here, and we've just gotten the victories and we've gotten the points on the board, and that is so vital. When you're not playing at your best, you've got to get those victories. A couple of key injuries to note going into this game. Mason Clark has been noted on FotMob with an injury. I don't know if that's true or not. I didn't see anything that happened in the previous game against Stoke City that would indicate that he has a muscle injury. All I saw was he had the head injury, so maybe precautionary, we have to put him off. I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait for Lampard's pre-match interview to go and assess that one. Jack Redoni is possibly going to be on the bench for this game. I wouldn't start him. It's way too soon. He's only just started getting back onto grass, and I don't even know if he started training with the full team. I know he was doing individual training, so I would definitely put him on the bench for this game, and I wouldn't risk him if we're winning the game 1-0 or 2-0. It's not worth risking him, putting him into that lineup or bringing him off the bench for him to get another injury. Besides that, everybody else is ready. Looking at West Bromwich Albion, the last 5 results, they've got 1 win, 1 draw, 3 losses in the league. Ryan Mason is under pressure from the West Bromwich Albion fans. I've looked on social media and everybody's saying Mason out. There's barely anybody, probably 5% of the fan base, who are backing him. Majority of their fan base want him out, and it's his first managerial job. Yeah, he took Tottenham Hotspur in the interim job, but coming into West Bromwich Albion, I think it's a step too far for him personally. You got to go through the ranks, you got to learn your trade, as they say, and he's just been thrown into the West Brom job. Do I think he's going to be a good manager in the future? Only time will tell, but right here, right now, he's not doing a good enough job for their standards. They're a team that always aim for that top 6 position at the start of the season, and where they're sitting currently in the league indicates that they're nowhere near it. They're barely scoring any goals so far this season, 14 in the league, which is almost 1/3 of what Coventry have scored so far, where we've scored 40. They conceded 16, which is a decent amount. It's not terrible, but it's not the greatest either. And what's damning about them is they've created the 3rd least amount of big chances in football matches so far, 23 compared to our 46. So that is half of the big chances they've created compared to us. What's their possession like? How do they use the ball? From what I've seen from highlights, from stats, everything indicates that they sort of play a 50-50 game. They've averaged about 53% possession per 90 this season so far, and they like to pass the ball a lot without creating many clear-cut chances. Their away form going into this one, of course, is at the CBS. They've won 3 and they've lost 5. They haven't drawn any games so far this season away from home, so it's either going to be a W for us or an L for us. The last meeting between us two, of course, was that 2-0 victory for Coventry, Redoni and Grimes scoring those goals, and there was a red card for Callum Styles in that game. And their head-to-head records doesn't actually favour Coventry. Historically, West Brom have had the upper hand against us, of course, that's true, but Coventry recently, the powerhouse that we're becoming in the Championship, we are the team to beat this season. And I would say towards the end of last season, probably around Christmas time last year, when Lampard came into his role, when he came into sort of the run that we were getting into, we were the team to beat, and we did beat them 2-0, as I mentioned before. So how do I expect us to go into this game? I expect us to use all of our strengths at home, which is pressing, which we're one of the best teams in the Championship so far this season for pressing. Ball progression, also Grimes in that midfield role where he progresses the ball to other standards that other midfielders don't have. Victor Torp in the midfield can do that role alongside him. And of course, creating chances on the wings where we have Mason Clark, we have Sakamoto, we have Brandon Thomas Asante who can play out there. they can whip in the balls to Haji Wright, Ellis Sims, whoever is up front. And if we can't whip in the ball, they can take shots from the edge of the box and they're just as lethal as they are inside. And from what I can see, West Bromwich Albion, they don't necessarily have any big weak points in their team. They're sort of, middle of the ground. Every single stat you look at, everything that you watch about them, they're not necessarily lacking in any places. The only thing that I could find really is they're sitting 22nd in the league for possession won in the final third, which is 2.2 per 90. So this kind of indicates to me that they're just going to sit back and let us have the ball, which could be an issue because at times this season we've seen Coventry struggle to break down a low block and we've relied on brilliance from Victor Torp or Brandon Thomas-Asante to get us out of jail. And we've seen when we go 1-0 down against a team who likes to just sit back against us, they will park that bus, and they've done that so many times this season long. Other times we've got over the line, as I mentioned before, but other times we've really struggled and we've only came away with a draw or barely scraped a victory in my opinion. So I just mentioned that they don't press teams, so what formation are they going to play? I've looked at their last 5 games and the formation that they've used the most, which is 4 out of 5 games, is that 4-2-3-1 in the midfield. It gives you balance, it gives you width, it gives you every single thing that you need to go up against a side like Coventry, which is what they did against Stoke City, where they did win 1-0 away from home. They played that formation and it worked to a T. Yeah, they got lucky at times, a couple of chances for Stoke City could have gone in on another day, but they took their chances, and I can see them doing a similar thing against Coventry. Why would you not try and emulate what you did against Stoke City, where it worked against a team like Coventry, which is sort of similar standards to Stoke City this season? How do I see us lining up in this game? This is going to be interesting. I'm going to go Carl Rushworth in goal. Of course he is. There is no other player who will come into that starting goalkeeping spot unless he gets an injury. Van Ivek a right back, Thomas and Kitchen as the 2 centre backs. There's no need for a back 5 against the West Bromwich Albion side who are barely scoring any goals this season. Jay Da Silva at left back, midfield 2 of Grimes and Torp. They balance each other so lovely. They are such a treat to watch in this league so far this season. Sakamoto on the right hand side. I'm going to go with what FotMob was saying, and Mason Clark is injured, so I'm going to go Thomas Asante on the left hand side. Through the middle, I'm going to go Josh Eccles. We have nobody else. You could put Josh Eccles as the holding, or you could play Victor Torp as the 10. You could switch them around. Josh Eccles has done a role there for us this season already. I feel like he can do it again. And then up front, I'm going to start Ellis Sims. I can't start Haji Wright. I want to so badly, but he deserves to be dropped for his lack of creation, lack of effort. He needs to be told as a player, you can't keep starting up front. Even though we're winning games, you're not allowed to just ride the coattail of other people who are doing well in the side. You need to be dropped and you need to come off the bench and put in an effort like Ellis Sims has done previously this season. So that's the starting 11 I would go with. Let me know in the comments, would you change that or would you go with exactly that? I don't see any other possibility, as I mentioned before, besides Haji up front for Ellis Sims. A couple of players to look out for West Bromwich Albion is Isaac Price. He scored 5 goals, 2 assists already this season, and he's one of their highest rated players on FotMob. And then Mo in the midfield is key when they have possession. He likes to hold the ball, he likes to play it around, and if we could isolate him in the midfield and neutralize Isaac Price, maybe put Thomas and Kitchen on him as a double team, they will have nothing going forward and they will have nothing in the midfield, and we will penetrate them and they will lose this game. You have my word, if we nullified those guys, our fullbacks know what they're doing. Jay Da Silva and Van Ivek. We don't need to tell them what to do. They're 2 of the best fullbacks in the league for a reason. If we just nullify their midfield and their striker, it's game, set, match. So all that mentioned, what is my predictions for the game? I'm going to go off what we've seen so far this season. We haven't done well after international breaks, and I see that trend continuing. We start slow and then we build up momentum. I'm going to say that we win this game 2-0, but it's going to be a very cagey match. It's going to be 50-50. There's not going to be many chances. They're probably going to get a couple of really good chances, and we're going to go, oh my God, it's happening again, the international break. We can't deal with it. What are we going to do? But I feel like we're going to go in at half-time 0-0. We're going to get 2 crucial goals. I'm going to say Ellis Sims scores a goal, and then we're going to get some magic from Victor Torp in that midfield role. We're going to get back to winning ways after the international break, which will mean 3 wins in a row. Hopefully, the other games in the league have gone our way, and we build up that gap even more. The team I'm looking out for in the league is Ipswich. So if they can drop points this week and we can win, that just builds a further gap for us between first place and second place in the league. But that's my predictions. Is Coventry 2, West Bromwich Albion 0. Ellis Sims and Victor Torp are going to be the goal scorers. I'm going to say that Carl Rushworth is going to be man of the match in this game. We will be on our way to the Premier League, hopefully. So let me know in the comments down below. What's your score predictions? Do you agree with my starting lineup in this game? Are you excited for this? Give me a rating out of 10. How excited are you for proper football to be back at the CBS? Mine is a 10 out of 10. I've been missing football so much. The international break, watching England, it's great, but it's not proper football, is it? If you're enjoying this previews and you're a Coventry City fan or you're a football fan in general, hit that subscribe button. That'd be much appreciated. And as always, I'll see you in the next video, which will be my predictions for the whole EFL Championship, match day 15.